Let's immerse ourselves in this story and let the words bring our imagination to life. It was early quiet and all Ava could smell was cool, moisty air. It was dark too, and she was barefooted. She thought of her shoes for a second, but then the thought of her parents clouded that. First, she thought of her mother, and then her father, but she could not figure out where she was. Fear crept in, and she began to look over her shoulder. Only then did she fully become aware of her environment. It was dark, but she looked up the starry night and looked back down, squinting her eyes to see. The stars were her light, but the fog still covered the ground so she could not see clearly. An owl hooted in the distance, but she ignored it. The ground was moisty and very slippery. She looked straight ahead and saw water. Plenty of it. Oh, that must be a river. But where am I? She thought and asked at the same time. Where am I? All looked like an oblivion of nothingness, except for the stars. The owl hooted again, which sent chills down her spine. Something crawled at her feet. Ah! She jumped, but slipped and fell down the little slope which brought her close to the riverbank. The hair on her neck stood like soldiers at attention. Oh God, please, she pleaded. Hello, who's there? She asked faintly, not believing how low her voice sounded. It was a cold night, but she was sweating. She felt a trickle of sweat run down her armpits to her side. She shrugged and shivered. The air whistled by, and she turned at the sound of a rustling behind her. A shadow ran past her shoulder. She knew she was not alone. She felt her heart sink deeper into her stomach, then squinted her eyes again to see the stars shone on the water, so she took advantage of it. Whatever is out there, I should know before I figure out where I am, she said, but then got interrupted when she saw the shadow trying to get into the water. Suddenly, her brain woke. Wait, that's Mom? Relief swept through her, and for the first time, she felt the cold air dry up her sweat for a second, but that turned into horror when she saw her mom making her way into the water. No, Mommy! No, Mommy! Where are you going? She screamed as she saw her mother wading her way farther into the water. The woman would not budge. She just kept walking away, but Ava could not do anything. She just kept screaming, and to her horror, she watched her mother gulp her last breath and drowned before her very eyes. She jumped right after her, ignoring the boat by the riverbank and the fact that she cannot swim. She began to suffocate and move wildly about. She heard her name faintly in the distance. And then, all was dark. Soon enough, light engulfed her. Everywhere was blurry at first, but then she became aware of her environment. Then she saw him. Uncle? Yes? Uncle Mark! Uncle Mark! She sighed and hugged him. Bad dream? He asked, ignoring her sudden outburst. Nightmare! She began to cry. Her parents had died years ago in a car accident where their car had somersaulted into the water from the bridge. They had drowned and she had spent 6 months in the hospital. She looked up at her uncle, who has been the star in our night all those years, and he gave her a reassuring smile. Shh, it's okay. He whispered into her ear and stroked her back gently as her sobs quietened. The end. This story is a tribute to every orphan out there in the night, and a gratitude to everyone who has stood up to help these orphans, and by so doing, they have shone as stars in their night.